I don't know who needs to hear this, but there is a message coming through for you. And it's saying, you're never going to not have experiences that teach you the very thing that you need to know. The lesson, the diamond, right? The nuggies that you need to integrate into your life and embody. For example, in a spiritual journey, the way we learn discernment a lot of times is we have certain experiences with certain beings that teach us that discernment, how to discern, oh, that is what that energy is. That's not what I thought it was. And it helps us to rearrange our inner standing, our feeling, our intuition. It helps sharpen, refine our abilities. You're never going to not have an experience that's going to teach you the thing. And as someone who has experienced a lot of false light, a lot of attacks, psychic attacks, energy attacks, and for a lot of years, didn't realize, didn't recognize. So I was a target, right? Many of us are. If you resonate with a term light worker or starseed, or just someone that's sensitive, someone that came here to help Earth in this time, not about special labels or whatever, it's just if you resonate with that, or just being sensitive soul, what else we have? Light light bearers, way showers, right? Generational curse breakers, generational trauma breakers. If you resonate with these types of themes, you're going to be put through it. You're going to be put through the gauntlet, my friend. As someone who is put through the gauntlet and actually just recently had my own eyes awakened and opened to whom I thought and had felt for a long time, and someone I had followed for a long time and really loved their content, all of a sudden, like, oh, I'm realizing how actually out of integrity that person was or is, because I just got finished working with them. You're never going to not have an experience that's going to teach you the lesson. Stop being scared. And this is also for me, because at times I do get scared. It's like, oh shit, what is that going bump in the night? Fuck, what is that? What is that energy I feel in the fucking middle of the night? I've had those things. These are for us to discern, to refine our abilities, our senses, our intuitions. And it's also so that we can help to regulate our nervous systems in these types of situations, in these types of environments, with these types of what are we going into now? We're going to become a galactic race very soon. This is no more playtime. It's post 2020, and that was the demarcation, is what I'm hearing, of a whole new world, right? We all know this. I don't think that's anything, I don't think that's anything new that anybody knows. But because of that, now there's this quickening of, you need to be on your shit. You need to learn your spiritual discernment. You need to know these things, my love. So don't be afraid to have an experience with an open heart, but also paying attention. Be present. You're not going to be able to get past or avoid dark beings. Beings that are service to self oriented. You can't. It's all too common here. This realm has been royally fucked up by the fallen angelics. And a lot of other beings that were allowed to stay. So you, my friend, that means you have to be you have to be that spiritual warrior that knows their discernment, that knows their own mind, that knows their own energy. And I'm talking to myself here too, because I'm still someone that's like I felt that. What is that? I'm still learning. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and be like, oh, I know. No, I don't. I'm a very old soul, but human experience is very fragmented. It's very confusing. A lot of our consciousnesses here become fragmented. And so it makes it more difficult to function here fully online with all your faculties. This is the game. This is the challenge. But my message, the message that's coming through today is that you're never going to not have an experience that's going to teach you the thing, especially when it comes to spiritual discernment. I feel like I know I did readings on TikTok for a while there, and I would get I get women mostly, right? But mostly I would find that I would get a lot of people that were scared to have those experiences. I'm like, I understand that. But like, you might have been scared going to school for the first time too, right? First grade. Or you might have been scared driving a car for the first time, right? Whatever it is, there's a first time for everything is the point. And as you put in your reps, you start understanding. There's a whole process of purification that happens within. There's a whole process of identification, of recognition that starts to happen within that we can't see, but that it starts to happen, and we build it as we bring our awareness into these spaces. And these beings are actually there for you. I mean, don't get it twisted. They're not there for you like that. But in the grander scheme of things, they are there to help you and support you and help you recognize where you are dismissing, disowning, denying, rejecting your power. This isn't something that we get to bypass. Not anymore. This is for real spiritual warriors who really, truly want to be the embodiment. This isn't about fake spirituality anymore. This is about truly embodied wisdom, truly embodied knowledge from your own gnosis too, right? From your own experiences, you're embodied. You have authority. You become sovereign. And the way we do that is we experience the other side of the spectrum that illuminates the things within us that we have not become aware of, we have not integrated, we have been rejecting or neglecting or even abusing within us. So my friends, you're never going to not have an experience. You're already having experiences with negative entities all the time, and you don't even realize it. It's a lot more common than you think. It's a lot less scary than you think. And this is something, like I said, I still have to tell myself from time to time. Because the fear is real. It's not real, but it's real, right? In the moment, it's like, oh, that's a real thing to deal with. That's a real thing to transcend. That's a real thing to understand for yourself and how it works for you, how you work with it, how you can navigate yourself around it, how you can talk to yourself and cheerlead for yourself. 11:11 on the clock when I was saying that. How you can step up into your authority, into your sovereign beingness. It's through these experiences. That's what carves out the master, so to speak. 11:44 on the clock. Master numbers. Okay? We're never gonna not. We all have, even working with other humans, they have aspects that may be malevolent, that may be not here for your best interest. It's time for us to become aware on all of the levels. And that's going to take some time. It's going to take some practice. But it's also going to take some experiences. So my darling, I know those experiences may be a little like, a little sketchy, a little scary at times. But through those experiences, it's almost like how we get our badges. But not that we're in it for glory or anything like that. It's a badge of discernment, right? How to be present and respond accordingly. I learned some real it's almost like I relearned it too. But I learned some real difficult lessons lately of being even more dialed in spiritually in my discernment, of listening to my body, listening to my first response, listening to these things that I had been previously ignoring. And my recent experience showed me I wasn't crazy. I was spot on. But there was conditioning running underneath everything that was accepting and almost blind to what was happening. So remember, my friends, we have different parts of ourselves. Not all parts of yourself are awakened. You have aspects there. Do you know your aspects? Do you know who you are? You know, we all have different aspects. There's so many different layers to this game, my friend. And so with this message, I'm saying you can't avoid it. Not in this age. We're in the spiritual age. You need to have your discernment. You need to know that there's companies out there that want to distort the information and make you think this is some kind of amazing breakthrough, right? Whether it's technology, whether it's clothing, whatever it is, or even that like that, I don't know if it's foam or that stuff that you put, like the stuff you put on your skin to supposedly make smooth cellulite. Come on. Or even the GLP-1 and the Ozempic thing. That whole thing. We have to have more than just like mental discernment. We need to have spiritual discernment. Spiritual discernment for spiritual maladies. Right? Spiritual, we need to have that, because it's a spiritual warfare, right? We are going through that. So if you do have these types of experiences, my friend, lean into gratitude. Lean into gratitude. It might be scary. That's okay. I've been scared. I've been scared too. It's like, oh, fuck, what's going on? But if we lean into gratitude, I found when I started leaning into gratitude, it's like, okay, because gratitude, right? High frequency, they don't like that. Thank you. Thank you for teaching me. Thank you for showing me where my power was. Thank you for showing me that I was not in my power. Thank you for showing me how I was rejecting my power. Thank you so much. Holy shit. And I'll even tell you, I feel like I'm being guided to share this dream that I had. It was a while back. It was like several years back, I want to say. A couple years back, maybe at this point. A year or two. No, it's been more than that. Anyways, the point is in the dream, in my dream, and if you know, you know, right? Our dream space is a continuum of our waking space. You know, you're in your astral body. Okay? As an astral traveler, do a lot of things in my sleep. A lot of us do. There was one dream where in the moment I had this big, I don't even remember what he looked like, but he was a big guy, guy, service to self. I don't really like calling beings evil, because it's really just a certain type of orientation. But he was coming for me. And in that moment, I was like, I dropped all of the fear and I went into love, and I opened my arms. I outstretched my arms as far as I could in both directions, and I said, thank you, I love you. And he dissolved. That's not just a dream, my friends. That's what really can happen. You need to understand your power. And part of what happens when we have these experiences is that it does shed fear over time, because after some time, you might just get pissed off because you're frustrated with being scared all the time. You're like, all right, motherfucker, I'm done with this. Because anger, being in anger is a higher frequency than being in fear. And once you rise to anger and you're like, I've had it with you, then, my friend, you came to play. Not that we're always in that anger, but that anger can get us out of fear real quick, right? I'm dropping a lot of nuggets here. And it's my intention that you pick them up as you need them. But what I was saying was, part of what these experiences help us with is to familiarize ourselves. And so that we're not scared. You don't need to be scared. We've been trained, we've been programmed, we've been indoctrinated to be scared. Motherfucker, you ain't scary. If you really understand that a lot of these beings have lost their connection to source. They forgot who they are. Or maybe even they made a decision to be service to self. That's fine. Either way, they are disconnected from the source. They're not in their true power. And when you start doing your own work and you come in, you start feeling and cultivating your own inner power, and you start to understand this, you become a threat. You become dangerous. So don't be mad when you start empowering yourself that you become a target. That's when you got to put on your spiritual armor, so to speak, and you got to come out and play. Now everybody's going to do that differently. What I'm going to offer is that you be in the game, you play the game as authentically to you as you are, as is to you. Some people play playfully, right? Some people play really soft. And that's their energy. Some people play a little darker. What's your energy? How did you come to play? How did you come play the game? I will say, and I will offer, don't play it resentfully, because then you're playing from your own wounds. Don't play it in fear, because then you're playing from your own wound. You aren't going to be able to see half of the things that are coming at you. You're going to be in your ego, right? This is why we do the work of purification. We're literally purifying our field of all of these distortions, all of this bullshit, all of the programming, all of the wounds, all of the emotions, all of the unprocessed data. So my friend, you can't avoid these experiences. They are here to train you, to nourish you, to spiritually invigorate and replenish and build you so that you can see, sense, know, hear on all of the levels what is actually going on. And you can actually walk through, 2026 and beyond with greater presence, greater awareness, greater discernment, because people ain't going to be able to fuck with you. People's aspects ain't going to be able to fuck with you. Other beings ain't going to be able to fuck with you because you know. And if they do, it's because you need a little bit of awareness. It's okay. Like I said, gratitude. Lean into gratitude. Find the gratitude. I'm not saying this isn't about bypassing and trying to find a fake feeling. I mean true gratitude. This isn't about fake spirit. Like I said, it's not about fake spirituality anymore. That TikTok spirituality, they'll teach you, it's not embodiment. Depending on who you're watching, it's not true embodiment. There's a lot of influencers out there that haven't been through the shit. Okay? Discernment. I'm not going to lie to you and be like, I don't know all the things. But what I do teach, or what messages might come through, is usually going to be 9 times out of 10, usually 10 times out of 10, but sometimes 9 times out of 10 from my own experience. And I've been a fucking scaredy cat. Like, seriously. I had a lot of fear programmed into me. And because I'm a Gen Xer, I'm in the middle of an old paradigm and a whole new paradigm, bridging, right? So I still have some of this old shit old paradigm fear that I'm detoxing and releasing and moving through and navigating. It's let me just say, I know why the older generations were why they were. We'll get into that in another video, because I feel like a lot of the younger generations don't they disrespect it because they don't know, they don't understand. Different video though. My friend, if you're watching this, what I'm hearing is you came here to be a spiritual warrior. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to be a spiritual warrior? Maybe high honor, yes, but let's not get in the ego. Okay? What does it mean to you here in your heart? Not in the ego, not in the mind, not let's define it up here and put it in a box. What does it mean to you here is what I'm hearing. You're called to become a spiritual warrior. Because in generations after we're gone, they're going to be trying to figure out how we did all of this. Mark my words. I've heard other people say this, but I felt it a long time before I ever even heard someone say it out loud. I was like, oh yeah, I've been feeling that forever. They're gonna be writing books. They're gonna be mind blown at how the fuck did we do this? How did we navigate this? How did we get through this? Internally, my friend, internally. Have your experience, integrate it. If you're scared, be scared. Journal. Move yourself through it. You came here to be a fucking spiritual warrior. Act like it, my friends. Act like it, because you didn't come across me by no accident. And I might not look like much, but there's more than meets the eye. And that's as humbly as I can say it. Okay? You got this. You got this. If someone who was programmed to be a scaredy cat like me can move through these things, and like I'm not an expert by any means. Like I said, I'm just sharing from experience. But if I can move through some of these things and start being like, all right, enough of the shenanigans, enough of the bullshit. I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm gonna step my pussy up. Confirmation. And we're gonna do the thing. If I can do it, so can you. Okay? Because I know what a chicken shit I've been in my past. Maybe not so much now, but in the past for sure. And in those moments, sometimes it's like, whoa, what's going on? What is this? Be curious. Talking to myself here too. But you got this. Okay? If I can do it, so can you. And I know who I am. I know how hard I've had to work. I know how fearful or avoidant I can be. But if you're coming across this, my friend, I was guided to give you this message. I hope you take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Tune in. Your spiritual discernment is needed from here on out. If you don't have spiritual discernment, you may learn a lot of hard lessons, and you may need those lessons, and that's okay. There's no shame here. There's no judgment. It's just all to say, it's okay to play. It's okay to be here. You got this. Right? You got this. You came here to be a spiritual warrior, and it might take us some experiences, and maybe they're a little scary. Maybe you label them as scary at first, but Sometimes these experiences take time to understand. Give yourself time. But that doesn't mean avoid the game entirely. Because we need you. We need your discernment. And you're going to need your discernment, most of all, going forward. Okay? So if you've had some kind of fear about this or just needed this message, my friend, it's an honor to bring it to you. 30:33 on the clock when I said that. I love you. If you are here, wow. If you are here, go ahead and leave a comment below. Tell me about some experiences you had. Or comment, I am a spiritual warrior. Because you are. Claim it. However, you got to remember, you're also in the gauntlet. The gauntlet trains you. Okay? The gauntlet is a training center. Is, I guess, at least in the context that I'm using it in. It's a way to train your skills, your agility, right? Your abilities in the spiritual realm. But just because you're in the gauntlet doesn't mean that you're powerless. You just need to remember your power. I love you, my friend. Have a beautiful, blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one.